Okay everyone, we're here with week 1's video for the mystery crochet along, and I'm going to start right at the beginning because I want to make sure everybody knows how to do a foundation single crochet first, because row 1 of section 1 says to do a total of 120 foundation single crochet. So I'm going to start right from the beginning. I've got my slip knot on my hook, and you're going to chain 2. And then you're going to insert your hook in the second chain from the hook, which is the one closest to the knot. You're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. Now what this does is this is actually going to create both the chain at the bottom of the stitch and the stitch at the same time. So now I've pulled up a loop. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through one time or one loop. And that is going to give you the chain on the bottom. And now I always like to put my thumb on that chain, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 stitches or 2 loops. Now you've got your first foundation single crochet there. So now we're going to insert into that chain that I put my thumb on, and sometimes it's a little tight at first. Once you get going, it's not so tight, but then what you want to do is you want to insert into the chain. You want to catch both loops, and this first one's always hard. So you can see I've caught both loops right there. I'm going to yarn over and pull through just the chain, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through just the first loop on the hook, then yarn over and pull through 2. One more time. Insert into the chain that I made underneath that last stitch. Make sure I grab 2 loops, yarn over, pull through both of those loops. So you've got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through just the first loop, then yarn over and pull through both loops. So you're going to do that for 120 stitches. I'm going to pull this loop out here really quick and bring it a little closer so you can see that here's the tail. But if you look at the top here, you've got 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. If you look here, you've got 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So you're going to do that for 120 times, and then I'll come back and show you how to join it without twisting. Okay, as you can tell, I've got my 120 stitches done for row 1. They're all foundation single crochets, and when you look at them closely, you can see it's a lot more stretchy than regular single crochet. That's why I used it. So, okay, so now we want to join so that it doesn't twist. And the easiest way to do that, if you're right-handed, you're going to have your hook on the right-hand side. If you're left-handed, you're going to have the hook on your left-hand side. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to be doing it that way. But you want to make sure that you lay your stitches flat so that the top of the single crochets are up on top. The foundation chain that you built as you made each stitch is at the bottom, and that you have the back side showing. So the right side of the stitches are on the table here for me. So then what I do, once it's flat, I fold it in half, and I make sure not to twist either side. So what I do is I meet in the middle right here, and then you can do one of 2 things. Now the pattern tells you to go ahead and slip stitch it, and I'm trying to get my tail here in the right place. There we go. To slip stitch it together, which you can absolutely do. And let me do that here really quick. So you just insert, yarn over, pull through both the stitch and the loop. And then what I do immediately, so it doesn't twist on the next row when I slip stitch, is I take the tail here that's hanging here, just that little short tail, and what I do is I pull it through the chain of the last stitch I made, like so. Sometimes it takes a little, because what it does by putting it there, it closes the gap and it doesn't allow it to twist. So what I do is I pull it through there once like that. I don't know if you can see that, but if I pull it apart, you can see that the strand, If I pull it apart, you can see the strand here gets bigger, but if I pull the tail and tighten it up, everything's nice and tight and smooth. Now you could do that a couple times. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to rip this out. I'm going to show you one other way to do this. Okay, so that's the first way. The other way to do this would be to just start the first stitch of row 2 in the very first stitch that we made, so it would join in the round. And I'm going to go ahead and do it that way because this way you will not have to worry about joining, and you won't have to worry about having a seam going through. Now I wrote the pattern so that if you wanted to join and chain up 2, I believe it's a chain 2. Yes, a chain 2 to close or to create the first stitch of round 2. You can do that, but that'll give you a seam. So to do that, we're going to use the second row, the main stitch for the second row. And the main stitch is called the knotted double crochet. So I'm going to bring this as close as I can. And the way you do that, the knotted double crochet, is you're going to yarn over, you're going to insert into the first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. So it's just like a double crochet where you've got your 3 loops on your hook. But you're not going to yarn over this time. That third loop that you brought up, you're going to pull it through the second loop. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And that's your knotted stitch. So I'm going to do that again. Yarn over, insert into the first stitch, or the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Using that loop, you're going to pull through the loop right next to it, then yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to do that again. Insert. Oops, forgot to do the yarn over. So yarn over first, insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through that first loop next to it, and then yarn over, pull through 2. Now I've done 3 of those stitches right now. So I'm going to mark the beginning of the round. Oops, I lost my stitch marker there. So I know I just did 3 of them, so I'm going to put my stitch marker in the chain there, or the top of the stitch, so you can kind of see what's going on there. Okay, so with round 2, you're just going to go all the way around doing that knotted double crochet. It's the abbreviation is the KDC. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, pull that loop through the loop right next to it, and then yarn over, pull through 2. So we'll go ahead and do that all the way around, and I'm going to show you how to get to row 2 or row 3. Okay, you can see I'm here at the end of round 2, and you can see if I bring the stitches closer, you can see that they're almost like a double crochet, but there's a little knot at the bottom that makes it look a little bit different. And as you build on this row, you'll notice we're going to get a kind of a herringbone look. And that's one of the reasons why this is done in the round, so that you can get the look that you're going to see as we get to round 3. Okay, so I'm at the end. You can see here, I haven't joined or anything. I've got to get the tail out of the way so you can see a little better. Here is my beginning of round stitch marker. I'm going to take that out. And instead of joining with a slip stitch, I'm going to go ahead and have you start row 2 just by doing that same stitch again, that knotted double crochet stitch. I'm going to take, so that double knotted crochet stitch will be done, and I'm going to put the marker back in, and there we go. Now this row is this section of the cowl is very simple. So we're just going to yarn over and go to the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull it through the next loop on the hook, and go around doing that again. So we're going to do round 3 through 9 exactly as we did row 2 and ended row 2. We're going to go ahead and just keep working in the round, no joins, until you get to the end of round 9. And when we get to the end of round 9, we'll be in clue number 2. So make sure you don't slip stitch, don't cut your yarn, just hang tight until next week. Talk to you later. Enjoy.